I was stunned at the word 800 pages. Were you?
I was surprised that it was so long, and at the same time, so much of it was redacted still at this point in the Mueller probe. He's reportedly near the end of concluding his investigation and issuing a report, yet so much remains unknown and was redacted in that report. Presumably, that is because he does not want to complicate other ongoing investigations. And what we don't know is whether or not it's related to the Russia collusion probe, or is it related to a parallel investigation by New York prosecutors into Manafort's tax evasion, and whether or not they'll bring separate charges whereby he would not be able to get a pardon from Trump, which is what, it is looking highly likely that he's banking on. He's due to be sentenced in March for as much as 24 years, and it does appear that he is hoping for a Trump pardon.
Stephanie, give me a sense of first, do we know what will be made public if the report is public? And there's already accusations of, well, the report better not be buried or part of it be buried. I mean, how ugly can this get?
I think it's going to be a huge fight. If it's not made public, I think there'll be massive pressure from particularly House Democrats to make sure it does at least get released to Congress, and I think the public pressure to get it released more widely will be there. I think, House Democrats could subpoena, Mueller. They could force him to testify. They could subpoena documents. You could see this as an ongoing fight over the next 2 years if it's not made public.
Okay, do we have any idea of how President Trump, does he know the content of what will come out? Does he get given a heads up or not?
Yeah, we've done some reporting on that. It's somewhat unclear what stage the report is at. We know he's got a counter report drafted that they want to release at the same time. Whether or not he has seen a draft of the Mueller report and how final the Mueller report is at this stage remains unclear.
Stephanie, what I see here, and you're just a phenomenal expert on this, is the gaming on a 14-day basis of all this is going to end. All this is going to end. All this is going to end. I see no indication any of this is going to end. Do you have any understanding of when Mr. Mueller will, quote unquote, wrap up?
Well, we understand he will issue his report soon. We've been told it was end of the first quarter, beginning of the second. So it is imminent. But that does not mean the investigation into Trump will end. I think the House Democrats will pursue their own investigation. New York prosecutors will pursue their own parallel investigations. Trump's former lawyer, Michael Cohen, has handed over additional information to New York prosecutors about the Trump organization. So, there may be an end to a formal collusion investigation by Robert Mueller, but that does not mean that Congress will stop or New York prosecutors will stop their probes of Trump.
And you mentioned Mr. Cohen. Should our audience pay attention to Mr. Cohen's waltz up to the House? I believe it's this week.
Absolutely. This has been hotly anticipated. It's been delayed several times. He says he will reveal new information about the Trump organization. I think it'll be one of the, sort of hottest tickets in town, just to be there and see what he says. And, does he really have new incriminating information that would, put the Trump organization in greater legal jeopardy?